Patrick, we're doing another check-in with our adventure series. Recently, you were at an event, something you've been a part of for a while through multiple different organizations, AGLOW. Why don't you start and tell people what that means, why that's important for people to be aware of what that is and how they can get involved, and then what were you guys doing over in Eau Claire this year, where this event was at?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, the AGLOW Conference, which actually stands for Area Great Lakes Outdoor Writers, right? So it was originated a long time ago, and it is much more than just the uh, Great Lakes Outdoor Writers of the Midwest. That's kind of where it started, but now it's branched out across the entire United States. You have YouTubers, podcasters, influencers, corporate members from all walks of life, being, the outdoor industry, hunting, fishing, shooting, whatever the case may be, but it can also go into biking and hiking and geocaching and all the things that used to be, right? The ones that kind of got pushed aside, but yet, the next generation might endure and enjoy that as much as we did growing up. But so the Area Great Lakes Outdoor Writers, which is AGLOW, is a organization that brings all likely minded people together. Anybody that wants to promote the outdoor industry, anybody that wants to promote tourism, anybody that wants to get into any way to relay the message of photography, videography, podcasts, articles, video, how to's, anywhere from, we have a shooting day set up normally every day. So you have manufacturers that show up and showcase their brand new, between the optics world, the actual piece that fires, to anything else, right? All the way through. You have different editors from different magazines. You have people that are running everything that there is about it, right? So it's really an awesome organization. You had anywhere, I think there's about 250 members across the globe right now, to be honest with you. You have some people that are from overseas that are now members. You have people from New York all the way down to Florida, over to Texas, up to Washington, and even probably Alaska in there. So
Dang.
um, yeah, I mean, and it goes all the way through, right? So you have tourisms like Devil's Lake, North Dakota. You have resorts like Riverbend Resort up on Lake of the Woods. You have Frank Campbell from Niagara. You have Elena down from Visit Kentucky. I mean, but Dana and her team up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, they rolled out the red carpet for us this year. It was an amazing conference. They did an amazing job. We always have a fishing contest one day, that brings everybody together and we all go fishing. And it's recorded through, the Fish Donkey app over by Darren and Bonnie. So every time anybody catches a fish, you hear that the damn donkey that goes off, telling you that there's a new leader or whatnot. And within that, it's always funny because we as a Glow Bandits, right? We're kind of the misfits of the entire thing. We put a self-proclaimed hashtag label on ourselves where we do what we want, when we want, how we want. So, Lois Croft down from Punta Gorda, Florida, who runs the tourism down there. And Frank Campbell is supposed to join us. And, you know, Paul and Brandy from Riverbend. And you have Kenner and Kara from Spy Point was with us this year. Susie Kenner, of course, over at Devil's Lake, North Dakota.
I heard there might be some drama in the Aglow Bandits. Didn't Paul and Brandy take your prize from you?
Well, we're gonna. So you know what? Honestly, I don't know
For
if
the
they.
pot, but like
I,
there's some.
I don't know if they purposely did that or not. I think that they truly thought that they won that, but I'm not quite sure because you got the Glow Bandits, and I mean, we are the shit. Let me put it that way. So we won a bunch of silent auction. We won a bunch of live auction stuff. We put in a lot of tickets because all of our funds go towards the growth and infrastructure of Aglow, right? So we spend wholeheartedly. And them little turds, I got called. I mean, I got called for the camping package, and they walked over. And by the time I got over there, done BSing with everybody and collecting all my St. Croix rods from all my silent auctions and, collecting my stuff off the live auction, I walked over there and they got it all packed up. I said, "What are you guys doing?" "Well, you won the hunting package." I said, "I didn't win the hunting package. I won the camping package." So anyway, it's the hunting package that I brought home. I mean, the gun case doesn't even fit any of my guns. My guns are too long for the damn case that I won. So I think they have the same size barrels on their guns. So they decided that they weren't going to take that. They took my camping package, which I don't even know it was on there. It's a principle of the matter. It's a principle of the matter that they probably have a really warm, fuzzy sleeping bag for sleeping under the stars.
More
They
further up north.
probably have a cot that they're up off the ground.
Yeah.
They probably got like a propane heater. They probably have, who knows, they probably have like a Coleman double stack burner stove and, you know, probably a tent and stuff. And I got a gun case that my gun doesn't fit in.
Well, let the record show. I hope the Aglow Bandits are stronger than me. Throwing this wrench into the mix. May you
Oh,
guys.
it's strong. I'll tell you what, the Glow Bandits. So every time that we go out, and we have a purpose of the Glow Bandits. By the way, it's not just kind of like, oh, these guys don't care. We care. I mean, we go out in town and we find a local establishment. We spend money and time, and we highlight them. And we made a bracelet this year that said Eau Claire, a Glow Eau Claire 2025. It happened to be one of our own members' birthdays. So we bought it off of the silent auction for her, our own creation. So, I mean, we are extremely
Randy,
close. Yeah, the Glow Bandits are a force that people only dream of being able to be a part of. And, you got to be something special to be a part of the Glow Bandits. But,
well, and you owe big. I mean, a lot of your early success in your career, correct me if I'm wrong, came through ties back through Aglow.
absolutely. So, The Aglow organization, I have been going to since 2003. So when I was with Jeff Marble and Patty Marble and Ryan Kleckner and folks like that from over at Frable and Kelly Marble, um, that is who gave me the first opportunity to start going to some of these organizations, Glow especially. And over the years, the friendships and the knowledge that these people shared with me made me who I am today and put me in the position that I'm at today. But not only that, but you have the phone calls the entire year going back and bouncing ideas off of each other. You have the ability to call the editors from different magazines and to be able to put either your story ideas in front of them or the content that you want to promote in front of them. I've learned some of the best influencers and photographers across the nation. You get into the people that win all the awards, right? You got the Dan Smalls with the radio that everybody knew. Wisconsin Outdoor New, the that network, Outdoor Wisconsin was his, network, and we still watch the deer hunting to this day. And you got Mark LeBarbre from over at Outdoor Heritage, which do nothing but promote really high end opportunities for our youth and the newcomers to the sport of hunting and fishing. You have Brett and Dan Amundsen, who are some of the best photographers and videographers. I mean, I've hired and worked very, very closely with those two up at Lake Winnebago region down in Punta Gorda, Florida. We've traveled the country together. We've
You
gone
guys did
to
the
their event.
Oregon piece too with those guys. Like,
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, the people that you get to know through that organization are the best in the industry, right? You have some of the lead photographers, lead videographers. You have lifelong friends that you become a family with, like the Smiths, Mark and Laurie Smith and Brian Smith. And you get into those guys where they're more like family than they are friends. You spend time with them and you invite them to different things, and they invite you down to different things on their properties and up to their cabins up in Alaska. And you do trips that you've never thought that you'd be able to do. I mean, it has given me the opportunity to not only know some fantastic people, but also cross off some bucket list items, So I met Lois Croft from Punta Gorda down at the AGLOW conference, which took Brett, Dan, and myself down to tarpon fish and grouper fish down off of, Boca Grande, down off of the tarpon capital of the world down there when we were down at Englewood Beach and Punta Gorda. And it's also given you and myself the opportunity to go out to, the Midwest or Sunset Walleye Classic by virtue of knowing Frank Campbell from Visit Niagara, that I've done multiple media events out in that area going back to 2012 was the first time that I was out there chasing, you know, fish in the gorge out to Lake Ontario for salmon, to giant smallies up on Buffalo Bay. I mean, they given that opportunity all the way out to Astoria, Oregon, where I got to chase salmon out at Buoy 10. And, you get into the the likings of the Paul Smith, who's with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, who's done articles for Wolfpack Adventures and for our businesses here in the state of Wisconsin through that. And I've hunted teal over on the Mississippi River with them. I've hunted, waterfowl out in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. You bring Ken Pratt, who's one of the best writers, along with Paul Waite, who there's two gentlemen that can't put a story more alive on paper than those two guys. And going out to the prairies of Devil's Lake, North Dakota again to produce that. And I mean, it goes all the way. I'm speaking a lot of the influencers, but then you got the promoters. You got the promoters of the sport itself, like Barb Carey and Ricky Purdon, who run Wisconsin Women Fish, who brought hundreds and thousands of women into the sport of hunting and fishing and gave them the confidence to be able to go out and tackle it on their own without waiting or having to wait for the guys in the world to help them. They wanted to do it on their own, which is awesome, and I give all the kudos to them in the world. And then you got like a Megan Pete Fossil, who's out in New York, who travels all the way over to Devil's Lake to promote that area. And I keep throwing these names out, but you can't do any of these without all the hard work of the board members and everybody else that puts in all the time and all the efforts and all the work to be able to make it effective. You got Trent Marsh, who puts in countless hours, and all the past people that have come down and through. And you got the Karen Ludo, who's the president right now, who's actually she runs a Hunter Outdoor Communications, and she's actually hired me to go down to the AGLOW conference to help her with her clientele and to the SHOT Show. And it's just opened up so many opportunities all the way across the industry. So people ask me, why do you keep going there? Because I honestly would not be where I'm at right now without each and every one of the people that were in there, all the way down to the Kenny Kaiser, who's a freshwater Hall of Fame communicator for waterfowl hunting and freshwater fishing. I mean, this guy has written books, and this guy has done so much incredible things to the different industry leaders. It actually has gotten me discounts on van through Kevin and Wendy Orthman, who was with Chrysler at the time, and now she's over at Jeep doing amazing things. And you have, it's just the opportunities that even PATTRIE Productions, you and I will have because of the connections and the relationships and the friendships that we have gained over the years that we can pick up a phone and make a phone call to create content for everybody that's following along here.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's kinda crazy. It would've been fun to be there. Obviously, it was a impossible to do this, but to see it in its inception and what its initial concept was to where it's at now and who it
Hmm.
influences, like, even when I first heard about it myself, being late to the party, um, the name almost throws you off a little bit because it's nationwide, and it's way bigger than you think it was right out of the gate. So it is nothing short of impressive, just a little bit of exposure I've been able to either personally witness or just hear your stories. So it's absolutely amazing. I don't know what the right even way to properly promote it because it's not going to do justice to it. I think if you're anyone that builds content in any manner, writers, videographers, photographers, graphics people, and you love the outdoors, even if you don't have a space in it, you should probably check it out. There's probably resources and connections you could benefit from right out of the gate, all the way to industry professionals that have years under their belt, someone like you, right? That still shows up, even if you're showing up purely just out of an appreciation and a thank you, but there's still value to be had from it and networking that happens, like you mentioned earlier, all year round to tap into.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but you also have to remember that if you have a business that's starting out, or if you have a tourism that you are looking at promoting, between a couple of organizations, this one is AGLOW, but you also have POMA, which is Professional Outdoor Media Association. You have OWA, which is Outdoor Writers of America Association. There's a lot of these different organizations that put you front and center, and it's up to you. I mean, they open the doors to some of the most brilliant minds in the industry, and they're not afraid to share exactly how they got to where they're at. I mean, I will sit there for hours listening to some of the local guides that gave up their time to take us communicators out on the for a day on the water, and I have no problem sharing the way that I got to where I'm at. And the easiest way to do that is you can't do it alone. You might be able to think you can. You probably are one of the best photographers in the world. You might be one of the best voices in the world. You might be able to do anything and everything, but without the right resources to capture the audience that you're going after, you're going to spend a tremendous amount of time and effort trying to get to the finish line. And you truly will never get to the finish line, because if I have one thing that I can take away from that is, as far as the Glow conference, I can honestly say that I've had opportunities that would not exist, including this one where we're at, because I've had to hire individuals in the last, 15 years to do what you, Jared, are capable of doing that I was not capable of doing. Your professionalism and your ability to be able to do what you do on, the internet, and the magic that you can work with your fingers is something that I can't do. Now, on the other hand, it is my exposure to the people that we need to talk to, and it's my voice and my way to connect with people that makes our PATTRIE productions so powerful, because it's not only the fact that we have the connections to get there or the knowledge of how to do it, but now we have the ability to capture that imagery, that videography, the crawling the websites and making it be known across the United States or world because of your talents. And together we're a very, very powerful force.
Mhm.
And the Glow Conference, they have awards and crafts, right? And they come out, and I've gotten awards for my seminar speaking, and I've gotten awards for my photography. But let it be known right now, Brett and Dan Amundsen, we are coming after you because you are the best. We're coming after you, boys, because you are, in my mind, the best complete production agency, and you're the top of the ladder, right? We're coming after you. Yeah, let it be known, we are coming after you, boys. In the Glow Conference, this is going to get fun. This is going to get really fun because there's going to be some some photography and videography and some promotional stuff that we're going to start entering as far as Jared individually or myself individually, all collaborative from PATTRIE. So this podcast coming out, or this little blog that is coming out for the AGLOW conference, we're throwing our hats in the ring, boys and girls, because I'm sick of watching everybody else walk up to the center stage. It's come time that we're here to play, and we're here to, and there's no bigger stage than I want to do that with than the communicators of the best, right? So we're going after the AGLOW, we're going after POMA, OWAA. You don't know who we are yet, but it's in Madison next year, so we're coming. We're coming after you. So it's time. It is. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Now that the cat's out of the bag, you should probably, as we wrap this up, AGLOW specifically, but since you mentioned the writers' events in Madison, you should probably give the shout out to Frank, since I believe he won the contract for AGLOW next year. Tell people, I think AGLOW Outdoors is their website. You can go there for information and look at their conference schedule and resources and memberships. But why don't you give Frank another little shout out here, since he won the bid for next year?
Yeah, so the AGLOW 2026 is going to be in October. It's going to be over in the Niagara region. I have personally been there multiple times. It is gorgeous. I'm sure that there's going to be a little field trip at some point to go over to the Niagara Falls. There's going to be opportunity to get content while you're in town. The leaves are going to be turning colors that time of year. You have the Niagara River that is coming in, straight out of Ontario and all that other good stuff. And it's to see the current in that water and to be able to watch those captains maneuver those vessels in the manner that they do is truly professional. I think that the people that are going to be salmon fishing and all the way down through to the walleyes, to the bass, it's truly a special place. I'm excited to be going out there. I've been there before, to go out there with the crew that is going to be going out as far as communicators. I think that there's going to be amazing things that are going on. Take nothing away from everybody and anybody that's done the conferences in the past. I know that we've done conferences up at Riverbend Resort. I know that we've done conferences, over in Kentucky and down in Florida and all over the place. I mean, that's what's awesome about it, because they move every year and it's different story content every single year. There's, a lot of the opportunities to create or to be able to go at a reduced rate, to be able to produce content, to rub elbows with the people that have the deciding factor of what, when, where, how, that type of thing. And don't forget, you have people on the other side of the spectrum, kind of like myself, which are with companies. So you have the ability, if you are a tourism, if you are a company like Spy Point or Relevant or anybody else, you're going to get to know the different production agencies like PATTRIE Productions, where we can do the content that you're looking for and help you uh, raise a needle, if you will, or anything like that. So you have the ability from that aspect, but yet for PATTRIE Productions, we have the ability to meet different tourism folks in different avenues as far as work and different things for ourselves to be able to continue to grow. So it's a fantastic organization. I strongly urge you to check it out. We'll do one of these on POMA, I'm sure, as well, where we're not leaving the love out for Brittany and stuff like that, Rob and Brittany over there. But and you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of promoters that are cross, so they'll be a part of all of them. And at that point, it's almost like going to Thanksgiving dinner and to Christmas with your family, because they truly do become family, and it's a very tight knit group. So that's what I got for that.
I I like it. Like I said, the Pat's got an entire career attributed to AGLOW, and I've only had maybe 2 or 3 crossings, but even myself, the amount of people I've met through Pat, through Aglow, or people that are even if it wasn't an Aglow event, but that are tied to and part of Aglow, the positivity and encouragement from these individuals, like it's been a good experience right out of the gate. So I can echo what Pat's saying, even though I don't have the experience and the years tied to it, just the positive energy that comes from it. And it doesn't take long to see the networking and the support that you can get from people. If anything else, there's no shortage of opportunities, and you got to weed through it a little bit. I'd almost make that
Right.
comment, right? So I think that's a more fair statement. So do with it what you may, but if you're looking for your people who aren't afraid of technology and working and finding ways to advocate for our outdoor industries, you can come together and find friendship and community at this. That's probably
Yes.
a safe statement to make. As people are always looking for their own, your own is at Aglow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I gave the shout out to their website. I'll say it again, aglowoutdoors.com. I'm looking at it right now. We'll put stuff in the blog post and links. Pat's already shared images. I'll ask him for some more. We'll find some stuff that we can show so you can get a look under the hood of what one can do and expect. And I know I have some photos of his Aglow bandits, so I'll have to show them off as well. But thanks, Pat, for sharing that about Aglow. Aglow, look forward to celebrating and cheering on Frank for the next Aglow event. So awesome. We'll get this posted. Thanks for listening, and we'll have another adventure series coming out soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.